What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex. I'm back again for 2025. I want to talk to you about a few fragrances that I am a fan of for the winter months. I think that all of these fragrances that I've selected are things that you could appreciate, and you know, any male would well, I shouldn't say that. You appreciate them. I think they're really nice, dope fragrances that will do you well in the colder months, winter months, as we transition into the new year and the weather is going to get a bit chillier. So I'm hoping that I can share some information with you, share my opinion, my insight on these fragrances. And if you don't have them or you're not familiar with them, then you can go take a look, get your nose on them and see what you think. And if you are familiar with them, then maybe you can co-sign some of my reviews and, further our stance on these, fragrances. And I'm really just a fan of fragrances as a whole. Obviously, I'm doing this because I enjoy smelling good. And ultimately, I've been doing this since I was a little kid. And, I continue to be a fan of fragrances. And I believe that 2025, we're going to see some things that are going to be different in the fragrance community, the fragrance world. And I'm looking forward to see what comes from some of these brands in terms of what direction they take the fragrance in the near future. But with that being said, too, I would also say that some of these fragrances are not just worn in the colder months or the winter months. All right, and I think that for me, I wear what I want to wear when I want to wear it. I try to be conscious of where I'm going and what I'm doing and make sure that, I smell a certain way. But at the end of the day, it's how I feel and what I want. It's not about the compliment. Although it's nice to get the compliment and people recognize, the fragrance that you may, be wearing or be interested in what you wear because you just, you walk by and they, you look interesting or you smell interesting. But at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about me, right? At least that's how I feel about it. So for me, again, back to, I chose these based off of, what I like. And I think that some of these fragrances are just really dope. I have some designer fragrances, I have some niche fragrances, I have some expensive fragrances, and I have some not so expensive fragrances to talk about today. So hopefully you enjoy, and we'll get to it. Boss Bottle Absolute. To me, I'm a big fan of this fragrance. Really nice, a woody fragrance, has a little bit of leathery scent. Also, has a woody scent to it, and just really, in my opinion, nice and sexy. And I use that word sexy because I really think that it's a sexy fragrance. Like the cedar wood in the fragrance, just everything is just, to me, is just nicely done, and it's not really expensive, but it's just really just, for me, I love this. I've worn this year a couple of times in the colder months, and it just, to me, it projects enough. It's not like overwhelming, but it's just enough to where it's just like, man, you smell nice. So Boss Absolute, I think, is a banger. I think it's definitely worth the purchase and worth to put in your collection, or put in your man's collection, because it's just that thing. It's a date night, it's a casual wear. It's all those things. I probably won't wear it to the gym just because to me it's a little too nice, but those other events I would definitely rock something like this in. So Boss Absolute. Next we got on the list is Jomashop Alexander 2. Man, this is a classy, sexy, sophisticated fragrance. Not necessarily the ingredients, but when you wear it, that's what it smells like, right? Man, it's like you got some amber in this, you got some sandalwood, I mean, you got some oud. It's just kind of a warm, sweet, sexy fragrance. Like this right here is definitely a date night. you dressed up, you trying to impress, you know, that whole shebang. Actually, I wore this one day not too long ago, and I sprayed it on, and my son was walking through the house. He said, "Dad, what do you got on?" I was like, "Man, I'm not telling you." He's like, "Man, don't gatekeep. What do you have on?" He's like, he's like, "Man, that's dope." And I had to let him know. He was like, "Oh, okay." But Xerjoff Alexander II, or the second, however you want to look at it, is a must. Grown man stuff right here. So fellas, get you a bottle of that right there. I don't care what nobody say. That's fire. That's fire. This is something that I'm always going to keep in my collection, hands down. Okay, next on the list, Creed Centaurus. Hey, I'm happy with this. I know everybody like Creed Absolute Aventus, which is another banger, but I really like this too, especially for the winter months, and I think they did a good job on it. Kind of a spicy fragrance, especially on the top notes. Then you kind of get the bourbon, the vanilla, and it kind of dries down to like a floral scent, you know, towards the end. But you got some tonka bean in here as well. But really well done. I think this could be a daily wear, a casual wear. It could be a date night wear. It's just really nice put together. And I think that young men and older guys can definitely get on this. Obviously with Creed, it's gonna be a little more expensive, but this is their newest. Actually, I think they have a newer one out right now, or it's a remake of a newer one, but this was their latest release this past fall. But yeah, really nice. Creed Centaurus, really nice. Okay, next up on the list, Parfums de Marly Altair, really popular. One of their newest fragrances, probably their newest fragrance if I'm not mistaken. But this one is really dope. Some people like it better than Leighton, and some people like it better than Carlisle. And I think all three of these are dope. I think Carlisle is probably the best one in my opinion. And this is a close one to second or third between this and Leighton Exclusive or Leighton. But really nice. Kind of a more of a vanilla scented fragrance. Definitely something you can wear in the spring, fall, winter. I mean, really nice and sexy. Another sexy fragrance. Young guys love this. Older guys can get away with this. And I would definitely tell you that this turns head. People love this smell. Women, men, it don't matter. This is just really one of those nice, you know, vanilla, citrus, spicy fragrances. Not as heavy spicy as some of the other ones, but sweet fragrance, but still carries enough to where that in the wintertime or in the colder months, it really projects. So, you know, all of these fragrances so far that I've talked about, and most of these up here that I'm going to talk about are all like, you know, 8-hour, 10-hour fragrances that are going to last you throughout the day. So this one is definitely a one that I would always keep. To include Carlisle is another one, but this one I will always have in my repertoire because it's just, to me, it's just that nice. This sells out. Okay, next we have Spice Bomb by Victor Rolf. Spice Bomb by Victor Rolf. Okay, this has been out for a while. Not really a super expensive fragrance or really expensive. I would say this is a average price, but to me, this is one of my, I won't say first fragrance, but this is a fragrance that I've had for some time and that I really just like. And I would say I can wear this almost anywhere. Office, gym, outside, when I'm out and about, date night, whatever. The best place is outdoors, obviously, when you get some more of that cooler air going and you really just kind of walk around the breeze and people can smell it. To me, I still think this is a really nice fragrance, worth this price, and really well done. But you know, you have some cumin, some cinnamon, you got some spice in this, you got some tobacco, some saffron, a few things that are just in this fragrance that really makes it nice and is well done. So especially for you younger guys, if you don't want to, you know, break the bank and you want something that's dope, this right here, Spice Bomb. Okay, highly recommend it. Fellas, get some. This is definitely another one that should be in your repertoire if you ask me. Okay, next we're gonna talk about Burberry Hero. Burberry Hero, this is a newer fragrance by them. Another not really expensive fragrance, but it's really nice. kind of an oriental, more of a classy, not so much spicy, right? Not like some of the other ones with the tobacco and oud and stuff like that. This probably has some oud in it from what I'm smelling, but it has some more of some fruity accords in it that's really nice, and I think it's really it's just really nice. It's like, it's different, right? But it's not even complex, but it's just kind of sexy. And I say that word a lot, but to me, that's what I kind of put it as, right? Like, for me, I feel like putting on some, you know, a t-shirt, some casual sneakers, some nice pair of jeans, and, you know, some shades, and I get out and hit the streets, you know, with a jacket on. So you can wear this to the gym as well too. I wouldn't necessarily say date night, but you could get away with a date night. This one is probably, you need quite a bit of sprays on it. You can't be super light on it because it doesn't project a whole lot, but once you spray enough of it on you, then it's really nice. But really nice. I really enjoy it. Something that I think worth taking a look at. I think you'll like it. Next up, we have Stronger With You Tobacco. Stronger With You Tobacco by Imperial Armani. Hey, if you like tobacco scent fragrances, here's another option for you. There's so many, but this is another nice one. I think that Stronger With You and some of these other ones are really nice too, Intensely. But this is more of just a straight tobacco fragrance, and I'm a fan of tobacco fragrance, leather fragrances, things of that nature, vetiver, so there's a few things, right? So these kind of scents, these fragrances, I'm just a fan of. I have a few different fragrances from different houses that, you know, I really enjoy, and they vary in prices, right? But this one is one that you can, young and old guys can look at. Very nice. Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomad. Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomad. Obviously, the name Louis Vuitton alone, you're gonna pay, right? It's gonna have a high price tag on it. But this is a really nice, really dope, oud smelling fragrance. And, you know, out of a lot of the oud fragrances that are out there, this is one of the top ones for me because it's not overwhelming. It's kind of complex, it's clean, but it still carries that oud scent, that oud fragrance that you really just appreciate. And for me, I've worn this and I'm just like, man, this is a grown man scent right here. This is a grown man fragrance, right? So Ombre Nomad, fellas, and you can't go wrong with that right there. Next up, I kind of talked about this one on one of my other channels, or I should say other channel, but other videos when I talked about this brand in itself, but I'm gonna talk about this fragrance, Sacred Flame by Argos. Hey, this is probably my number 1 or number 2 fragrance of theirs, behind Triumph of Bacchus. Hey, just a spicy, sexy fragrance. This is one of their newer fragrances this year, right? Yeah, I mean, you got some citrus stuff in here, but you definitely got your spicy accords in here. You know, some saffron, some patchouli, some tonka beans, some stuff like that. It's just really well done, projects well, really nice, just different, and it's just it's quality, and it's just one of my favorite ones that's been released in 2024, and it's worth the purchase. Like, it is just dope. It's a banger, and I think that I will always have a bottle of this to include a couple of their other fragrances, but this one right here does it for me. I just date night, casual, whatever. You can carry this in the spring, you can get it in the fall, you can wear it in the winter. I wouldn't touch it in the summer, but the colder months, the cooler months, this is money. But not least, Kajal 3. I kind of blind bought this one. I had a sample. I shouldn't say blind bought, but I had a sample from another one that I bought from Kajal. And this one is just nice. It's a little different. It's spicy, but it's definitely a nice daily wear, or you go into the office, or you know, something like that. You can definitely rock this during those times. I wouldn't say date night, although you could wear it for date night, but I think it's more one of those casual or daily event scents that you can wear. But really well done. Not a spicy note. Has a little bit of, I don't want to say citrus, but you know, some vetiver, it's more sweet, like some vanilla, things of that nature in here. It has a little bit of spice in it, but not like really spice where you have tobacco or, you know, spiced pepper or anything like that. It's a more milder fragrance, but really nice. Something to think about, something you can check out, and that's it. But with that being said, you know, that's all I got for you today. I hope you all enjoyed some of the reviews of the fragrance that I put out there for you. And again, if you have an opportunity, you can get out there and check out some of those fragrances. I'll have them listed below too as well. The websites where you can purchase it. And there's obviously other suppliers and websites that will provide maybe, you know, the fragrance for a discounted price or a better price. So you just need to look around to see what the best options are, you know, are available. But I'll still list the fragrance so that you can look them up and, you know, find some different options. You can always try Amazon, things like that, because I have a lot of different places that will you'll be able to purchase it from. But with that being said, but before we get out of here, please like and subscribe to the video. Okay, I really would appreciate it. I'm trying to, you know, expand my channel and you know, become someone that is trusted, and you know, my fans and or other colleagues can look at and say, you know, he has a good nose for the fragrance. But other than that, I hope you all have a great new year, and you know, I will see you all again in the near future. Peace.